GH is back. It's episode 5 of our gaming news video. Timestamps guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's do this. First up, as usual, let's start with a Steam news. And Steam has removed a game called PirateFi after it was found distributing a malware. The game was available for about a week and had up to 1,500 download before it was pulled by Valve. Players who installed it were warned that their credentials, session cookies, and stored passwords might be compromised. Security researchers found that the malware was hidden in the game files and designed to steal login data, including cryptocurrency wallets. Affected users are advised to run a full antivirus scan, check for unknown software, and consider reinstalling their operating system to remove any threats. Next up, if you were playing MMOs back in the 2007s, you might have heard or played S4 League. And like most games from that time, it got old and was shut down. But now, it's back on VFUN, Valofi. The game returns with its multiplayer action, customizable characters, and acrobatic third-person combat. And the publisher, Valofi, has launched a teaser website hinting at the game's full revival. While details on the release are limited, the game's return aims to bring back its cyber-enhanced competitive gameplay. Okay, so let's start with the release dates. We're gonna do this quick. This will cover most platforms, including mobile. Here it goes. February 19 brings Godzilla Voxel Wars, a Toho strategy game featuring Toho monsters fighting off an invasion, coming to Switch. Also Maren's Day, a pixel art adventure about a bunny saving a town festival. It's launching on Switch. Now in February 20, first is Ashen Arrows, a VR archery game with roguelike and tower defense elements. It will be released on MetaQuest, Pico, and Steam VR. Then I'm just gonna remind you guys that Tribe 9, a 3D action RPG tied to the anime series, is releasing on PC, iOS, and Android on February 20. Now Cabernet, a narrative RPG with a vampiric theme, is launching on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Star of Providence, a top-down shooter with procedural elements, is coming to Switch. Stories from Seoul, The Gundam, a retro sci-fi visual novel, is launching on Steam, Switch, and PlayStation. X-Out Resurfaced, a modern remake of a classic shmup, is arriving on PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox. Now in February 21, first game is Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, a spin-off of the Like a Dragon series, releasing on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC. Then RPG Maker With, a game creation tool, is launching on PlayStation. Next is Sonic Racing Crossworlds, a new kart racing game in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. It will be released on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Whisker Squadron Survivor, a roguelike shooter with feline pilots. It will be arriving on PlayStation. Then in February 25, the game that will be released is first Blade & Soul Neo, a modern take on the MMORPG with enhanced visuals and combat, launching on PC. Also Godzilla Cross Kong Titan Chasers, a 4X strategy game focused on survival. It's releasing on iOS and Android. There goes the release date for this week. Let's go back to the gaming news. And here's a story from Games Radar. According to this, ex-CDPR devs who are making the upcoming The Blood of the Dawnwalker game are aiming for the quality level of The Witcher 3. But it's only gonna be about 30 to 40 hours campaign. The game developers are focusing on quality rather than whether the game is considered AA or AAA. It features a dark fantasy setting, a time as a resource mechanic, and a narrative sandbox approach, emphasizing player choice. And based on this, a gameplay showcase will be expected this summer. And coming up, we got news regarding Epic Games. The company reported $1 billion in PC game sales on the Epic Games Store in 2024, marking a 15% increase from last year. Though spending on third-party titles dropped by 18% to $255 million. The platform reached 295 million PC users, adding 25 million in a year, while cross-platform accounts grew by 94 million after launching on Android and iOS in the EU. Daily users averaged 31.5 million, up 6%, with monthly active users also increasing to 67 million. Epic Games released 1,100 games in 2024, slightly fewer than the previous year, and its top titles include Fortnite, of course, Genshin Impact, and EA Sports FC 24. The company also extended its Now on Epic program, offering developers 100% revenue for 6 months if they bring existing games to the platform. Looking ahead, Epic plans to expand its mobile store with an improved app library and discovery features. And here are the Gacha news. Let's start with the shutdowns. The Tale of Food, a husbando turn-based RPG, will cease service on March 20. In-game purchases and new user registrations will be disabled before the shutdown, and the game will be removed from the app stores. Players can continue playing until the server closes, and refund requests will be available for eligible purchases. And according to this, official social media channels will remain active. Next, King's Raid, a free-to-play side-scrolling RPG mobile game, will also shut down on March 15, 2025. The game launched globally in 2017, gained popularity due to its character acquisition system and frequent updates. However, a declining player base and financial struggles led to Vespa, the developer of the game, laying off all employees in late 2023. The shutdown notice was shared on the game's official Facebook page, thanking players for their support. And next, we got a new trailer of Mecharashi, a mecha-themed tactical turn-based game. The game adopts a front mission style combat system where you can assemble mechas however you want, equip a wide selection of weapons, and choose your favorite pilots to engage in battle. I believe this was supposed to be straight out a front mission game, but I guess something happened and the developers went and just made their own IP and just imitate front mission. Next news we have is for Honkai Star Rail. The version 3.1 update titled Light Slips the Gate, Shadow Greets the Throne launches on February 26, and it introduces 2 new 5-star characters, 3B and My Day. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but there it goes. There will also be a new map, the Grove of Epiphany, and the update also includes a new season of Divergent Universe with a day and night system, adding strategic depth to battles. There's also a new AWU Firm event where players will manage a Chimera squad. And next news we have is pre-registration is up for SD Gundam G Generation ETERNAL. We also got a new showcase trailer showcasing a little bit of gameplay, playable characters, and of course, the Gundams. And before we move on to other gaming news, here is a free game you can claim on Steam. The game is called Stellar Mess, The Princess Conundrum, Chapter 1. It's a 2D point-and-click adventure game set somewhere in Argentinian Patagonia. The game is inspired by early classic EGA games of the genre. It's only free until February 28. And now let's move on to some console war news. Okay, Microsoft veteran and former Blizzard president knows that loyal Xbox gamers are mad about exclusives launching on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch, but he says that isn't going to change anything. Mike Ibarra acknowledges the frustration among Xbox fans as Microsoft shifts its strategy and makes its games available on other platforms like PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch, including titles like Hi-Fi Rush and upcoming releases like Indiana Jones. Ibarra emphasizes that it's time to embrace and move on and support the idea of gaming across platforms. He also suggested that PlayStation and Nintendo could collaborate with Xbox to create a friend transfer system. And Days Gone Remastered has been announced for both PC and PlayStation 5. The remastered version of the 2019 PS4 game will launch on April 25, 2025 for both platforms, with upgrades available for $10 per owner of the PlayStation 4 and PC version. The remaster includes a new survival arcade mode called Horde Assault with larger hordes, along with added permadeath and speedrun modes. Visual improvements include better draw distance, shadows, and lighting, plus new accessibility options like game speed adjustments and controller remapping. This announcement follows reports of Bend Studios' live service project being cancelled after Concord's poor performance, with future developments from the studio still unclear. And now let's move on to the emulation news. We got a few, and let's start with RPCS3 netplay. It's now available. The update brings several new games to online play, including Arcana Heart 3, BlazBlue titles, Persona 4 Arena, Under Night in Birth, and more. To get started, users just need to update their RPCS3 version and follow the netplay guide on the wiki. And next news we have is just a few hours ago, we got a new Android PS3 emulator. But there's a bit of an issue. The emulator called APS3 is based on RPCS3 and VA3K and seems to be functional with games like Castlevania Harmony of Despair, Terraria, and Shovel Knight, running at full speed on the Odin 2. However, it's not without problems, as some games have issues during gameplay. The emulator source code is controversial because it's only partially open source, and the game developer has promised to release the full source once donations hit $2,000, which has raised concerns about potential violations of GPL licensing. The RPCSC team has requested the developer to comply with GPL v2 and release the modified source code. While the emulator shows potential, the paywall for the source code remains, how can I say this, a source of problem. And next news we have is we got a new upcoming emulator handheld. Retroid Pocket official Twitter page just teased a new handheld, or two because there's another one on the back. And according to this, it's soon. No date is mentioned. Next up is Mobile Legends news. The King of Fighters collaboration is returning to Mobile Legends in 2025 with several revamps. The first 6 King of Fighter team skins will be updated to match the 2025 standards, featuring enhanced visual skill effects, new display animations, portraits, and in-game and lobby actions. These skins will be available from February 22 to March 24, 2025. And that's it. Leave a like before you go. This is Gaming Hardcore. See you in the next one.